As you can see, feel me? The new lunchtime was coming up, so they wanted to get you before you go on there. It's crazy. It's crazy, B. Hold on. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Man, listen. Today's April 17th. Today's what, Easter Sunday? Is it? Yes, it is. Yes, indeed. It feels very nice and quiet. You feel me? It just feels, I guess it's a state of mind. Honestly. Because today's Easter. I don't know what people do on Easter. They probably go to church and everything else like that. Combined with that, it's kind of quiet still. So it's designed to give you that feeling of holiness and pureness. You feel me? Because there's less people out. They have events where people are. They have events where they can host a lot of people, so you have less people on the road. Most people are off after working weeks and weeks, maybe. People who work on Sundays are going to stay home regardless. So yeah, it's designed to make it feel like the way it feels, so you play into it. And the belief become that much more real. Reason why? Because everybody believes in it and are playing a part, which gives it a spirit. It gives it some kind of importance. You feel me? It gives it a space to work in. You dig? That's what it feels like right now. But I'm on my little lunch. You feel me? I got roughly it's a solid 10, I tell you that. It's a solid 10. I could have a little more than that, but it's a solid 10. You feel me? I had to design my whole shit real quick, you feel me? The front is always fucked up, but that's not about design. That's hate. Hate. So this how my shit look. I mean, of course, my hair's always, I gotta comb it, but I'm not combing my hair no more. The last time I combed my shit, I got sick, so I choose not to comb my hair anymore. I'm just let it grow the way it's supposed to grow. You see me, man? When you look this good, they gotta hate on you feel me? And half of the time, they be mad because you not reacting to what they doing. I said a lot and they react to that. And they be mad because you not reacting the way you supposed to react to it. They want you pain and anger and frustrated and wanting to do something. But it's like, yo, if you're not attacking me straightforward, how am I supposed to know who's who? What am I supposed to do? Punch the wrong person just to find out who the person was? Feel me? It's like, it doesn't even matter even if I knew who the person was. Because for me to put my hands on somebody, it would take a lot out of me. You feel me? It's a degrading act. It is. Now I know they got self-defense and everything else like that, but it's a degrading act. Now, I'm not saying don't defend yourself. Always defend yourself at all costs if you can and if you must. But let it pass. A lot of men are not going to accept this or understand this. Remember, like I said previously, the things that I say that comes out of my mouth is very hard in practice. You feel me? The reason why it's very hard in practice because we have not. The reason why it's very hard in practice because we have not professed it. You feel me? We have not mastered it or art of it. But this is what all men are supposed to be like. You feel me? It's just, it's hard for you guys to understand these things. It's going to be very, very hard. Word. Imagine somebody telling you to turn the other cheek. Shit. You feel me? Like that kind of thing. Like, yeah, like that is power. Now that's the true power itself. It's hard. Like when you've learned your whole life to retaliate, hit them back, beat them. You better defend yourself and all that shit. It's going to be very, very hard for you to walk away from things. It's like it's almost impossible if you grew up like that. Then they're telling you, and I'm telling you otherwise. Most of the things that I say, they wait on somebody else to say. Then they look at me like, and I'm like, I told you niggas this shit like 5 years ago, but it's all good. Y'all can listen to him. Sometimes 2 weeks ago, but nigga just put it out. You feel me? Like 2 days ago, I was like, alright, I told y'all niggas, but it's all good. Man, look, man. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. Retaliation is for the weak. There's no need to retaliate. There's no need to put your hands on anybody. It's weak. It's weak. It's a weak act. The very notion of it. The very action of it. Feel me? The notion, you ain't no shit. So your action was weak. It's just a weak act. It's a weak act. You feel me? For you to even, if you're not a boxer, of course society has made these things. This even in the Roman time, they had gladiators. Like they had arenas where they had these kind of activities, but we didn't hear it spilling out to the streets. You feel me? If it's for entertainment purposes, and two people sign up to meet and face each other and compete at a fair rate, then it is what it is. But I see a lizard right now, right? I see birds flying around. I may see a lion or two in my mind. I seen bears in my mind too. Lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. It's a straight zoo. You see, we are animals too, but we on top of the food chain. What separates us from animals? Think about it. Because all of us, when I say all of us, I mean we animals, which we are humans, and animals out there all communicate. You feel me? We all communicate in some form of shape. Not communicating with each other, but they communicate among their groups. You feel me? The only thing that separates us, very fast. Yes, we are all animals. We are. I'm just like that lizard. The lizard is just like me. There is the chicken, the fucking birds flying. Like everything. Like we the same. They got male and female. Feel me? Sex wise. You feel me? They don't have no gender like the way humans do. Feel me? Now, sex is male and female. That's solid. That can never be changed. Gender is a man and a woman, and those are duties that we perform in society. So they look at the structure of a woman, and they have duties in society for a woman. And they look at the structure of a man, and they have duties and works in society for a man. So gender is fluctuated. You can fluctuate through gender, but sex is set because it's something that is biological. It cannot be changed. It is what it is. And we animals, as humans and as other animals, we share that sex. The only thing that separated is the gender. And I said that to say this. Every animal is in communication with each other. Even plants communicate somehow, some way. We got a few more minutes. Even plants are communicating somehow, some way. Bacteria are communicating. Our cells are communicating. The difference is the language and the sound that we speak out of our mind. You feel me? The language that we speak, you feel me, is the difference. It's like the words spoken. Of course, there's more to communication than just words and speech. So they are communicating their own form. Some through electrical impulse, some through sounds and everything else. Our speech, the words that come out of our mouth, is what separates us. So as a human, In order to move forward, you cannot do what animals do. You cannot. You see, animals are like babies. Babies are limited in their words, so they use aggression. They cry. They might want to beat you and bite you because they don't know how to use those words yet. So they infant in that position. So the older they grow, they learn how to speak words out of their mouth, which makes them more mature. We proud of them. Dad, mama, oh my God. So it's more like an innovation. It's like, whew, that's a level up. Now this little nigga who came out the womb and couldn't even say nothing but it's like he was speaking his own gibberish. You feel me? That's why you're not supposed to speak to a kid in that kiddie language. You're supposed to speak as I'm speaking to a kid, even though it seems like he doesn't understand. He understands in some form of shape, so he can get up to date very fast because we are humans. This is what separates us. So if this is a gift that was given to us by the maker himself or by nature, or whatever you believe in, then that means that we ought to explore it and advance it and innovate it and shoot it up like a rocket and just separate ourselves even more because it's an advantage that has been given to us. We shouldn't feel sorry because it was something that was given to us. It's a discovery that we ought to take full advantage of. I say that to say this because I still haven't lost topic. I still haven't lost control of the topic. Since this is who we are, why are we acting like animals and putting our hands on things and try to act in violent way or act like an infant or act like a child as if you can use your words to articulate yourself and speak your mind to the things that disturb you and reason with yourself? Because people always think that you have to speak to somebody else. You can speak to yourself. In order to speak to anybody else, you have to be able to speak to yourself. So how come you can't reason with yourself and talk yourself out of violence? You feel me? Why is it that you have to act like an animal and act as if you can't use words? Because once you take that right away from yourself, that right away, it's a right. It's like a birthright. So you taking that birthright away from yourself. You stripping yourself of your birthright. The only clothing that you have is your birthright. Now you can put on all these layers of clothing and look as good as me. You feel me? That's gonna be very hard to do because I'm feeling myself right now. You can do all. You can put all these attributes on. You can put on all these selves. You can use all this identification to identify yourself. But the only thing that you really have is your birthright. It's your freedom of speech. You feel me? What is the First Amendment? The freedom of speech. What's the Second Amendment? To own arms. So basically, you're supposed to protect your freedom of speech. The first one is the First Amendment is the freedom of speech, if I'm right. The Second Amendment is the right to own arm, the right to bear arm, basically the right to have weapons, to protect your freedom of speech by any means necessary. Because it's the rest of the other amendments is bullshit. Because that's the only right that you have, because the right to speak your mind and express yourself. This is what makes us different from the animals, and this is why it is the First Amendment. And this is why it's a birthright. It's not even a right, it's a birthright. As soon as you come into this world, it is your birthright to speak words and express yourself. You feel me? Of course, you can't express yourself angrily, because if you do express yourself in a violent way, well, guess what? What makes you think somebody else can't do the same to you? So the thing is that you're supposed to express yourself in a way where you're not trumping over other people's right. And that's that's the true definition of an educated man. An educated man is a man who goes out there to get what he wants without stepping on other person's rights. You feel me? See how it's all coming together? So your speech gives you the ability to be educated. So once you become more articulated in the way you express yourself, then you don't have to resort like a child or an infant to use your arms and start punching people. Because now you know how to use words to speak to people about what you have a problem in, and you know how to use words to reason with yourself not to do such things. Now, when you lack this ability as a human, you are an animal. Plain and simple, because you don't qualify to be a human. What qualifies a human? Let them pass. They be mad because when you talk like this, shit gets scary. You feel me? I be playing easy with them, but it be like that sometimes. What qualifies you to be a human? You feel me? If I look at the animals and I look at you, without opening your mouth, what will qualify you to be a human? Your expression, the way I'm clothing, the way I'm taking care of myself. Look at me. I look like a human. Now that I can tell the difference in that notion, you look like a human. Now, we go through the levels of things, and we're going to challenge you to see if you're really a human. Now, if you can articulate yourself and you can speak yourself, control your emotions and your anger, that's also a form of a language. That is a communication in itself. Emotion, that's consciousness. So if you don't have this form of language, then who are you then? Yeah, you appear to be a human. Even wolves appears to be wolves in sheep clothing. Yeah, it's very hard to tell the difference between certain things sometimes. You feel me? It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to tell. Dig? So a lot of niggas out here looking like humans, but they're really animals. That's my whole point. If I'm going back in, I got a good 2 minutes. You feel me? 2 is always good. You feel me? So a lot of us, it's only a few of us that's really humane. The rest of these niggas is Homo sapiens. They haven't even evolved yet. They're still traveling. They're trying to find their mind. You feel me? They can't even, they go to school. I swear to God, they go to human school and still don't get the concept. Because self-development requires you to be self-in-tune. You gotta put yourself in there. You have to be able to care enough to want to find yourself in some form of capacity. And we're not even gonna go through the whole self thing, because people think in order for them to know they self, they gotta what you would call it? They gotta tap into some ancestry. No, in order for you to know yourself, start with the basics. Know your amendments, know your first rights, know the basic things. You feel me? Ask simple questions. Why am I important? And why do I have these questions? And find simple answers that can give you some kind of solid background. Like, okay, I'm very important because I have a birthright. I am a special individual. I was made, if you believe in the God, which I do, then you'd be like, I was made by God, and there's nothing greater in me than there is out in this world. This is how you build yourself. You build yourself in that way with concrete evidence. If you don't believe in the Bible, then you look through science itself and know that the chances of us being alive is like 0 to a trillion or some shit like that. So you are a very special individual. And if you're a man, then you know that shit. You feel me? This is how you break it down. Hold on. Feel me? This is how you break it down. You feel me? You gotta break it down in those ways. This is how you find your confidence. You start with the most basic thing. Just ask simple questions. Who am I? And from there, you start learning about yourself as an individual. Then as a human being, then you break it down to culturally. You be like, all right, fuck it. I'm a black man, da-da-da. What makes me so special? And this is when I went into the area. Of course, you're going to aggravate other people, da-da-da, because culture wars and everything else. But start with the basics. Start with the reason why you're human, your basic rights, the things that gives you some form of leverage. A moral compass. A compass is something that directs a ship to its destination. So what is your moral compass? What is driving you? What is directing you through the atmospheres and everything else like that? This is the definition of finding the self. You feel me? Once you find that, you never have to put your hands on anybody because of jealousy. You feel me? Like, it be like that. Some girls be looking so good that niggas got people start hating. It's crazy. Like, I'm like, damn, you gotta find a confidence in yourself. Find a solid confidence. Find it. Like, you just gotta find it. Like, it's important, man. You feel me? Because the things that you do define who you are. So if you're a person who's always hating, and you are always trying to hit somebody with your hands. We know that you're not that confident. We know that you're not that intelligent because you are resorting to hitting people. And you try to be intelligent because you think you went to school, you got your masters and everything else like that. But you're only mimicking what you know, which means you just storing informations and you acting on those information. It is not something that is created out of the blue. You're not a creator. You're not creative in any form or shape. You don't bring out new things. You're only taking old things. You feel me? You like recreating things that has already been created. There's nothing significant or special about you. You feel me? Anyway, man, I gotta go, man. You already know, man. Enjoy your day. Easter Sunday. Feel me? Keep the day blessed until I come out. You know what I mean? Shout out to wifey. You know who you are. You already know. You feel me?